Hello, music fans. You're watching Death by Unicorn, where we talk about metal, rock, and prog music. I saw this great article over on the Prog Report website called 15 Essential Modern Prog Epics over 15 minutes in length from 2011 to 2025. And I figured I'd react to it and then also make my own top 15 and kind of compare their list to mine and make a quick video on it. So if you want to learn about some great modern prog epics that have been made in the past 15 years, you've come to the right place. Let's dive into their list and see what I think here. So the first one they have here is Neil Morse with Seeds of Gold, which is a 26-minute track from 2011. And I'll have to be honest, I've never heard this one, but I like a lot of Neil Morse music that I have heard. I still haven't done the full discography dive for Neil Morse. He has such a large discography, but I've heard good things about this, so I probably have to check this out at some point. So it's not on my list just because I haven't heard it. Next, they have Haken with Visions, also from 2011. And spoiler alert, this one's also on my list. I love it. It's an amazing track. I love pretty much everything Haken does. I guess I can take out the pretty much. I do love everything Haken does. I can't think of any time where they made a wrong step. I love every album, every song, uh, and their epics are amazing. They're one of the best at making these modern prog metal epics. Check it out if you're a fan of Dream Theater. If you haven't heard Haken before, but you're a fan of Dream Theater, I think you'll like them. Next, they have the Flower Kings with Numbers from 2012. And here's another one that I don't think I've heard, but I've heard a lot of Flower Kings music, but another band where I've heard a bunch of it, but still haven't heard all of their discography. So I haven't heard this particular one here, but I might have to check it out. I like what I've heard mostly, but it's a bit soft for me. I like the metal stuff, so my list is gonna skew more towards prog metal, where it seems like this list from the Prog Report so far, two out of three have been more on the prog rock side. Haken's still on the metal side, but the other two aren't as hard hitting and heavy. So my list will be for people who like the heavier prog epics more. Next, they have Big Big Train with East Coast Racer. Yes, I love this song. Again, it's not heavy, it's more on the prog rock side, not metal. Um, but I really love it. It's not on my top 15 list, but if I made the top 50, there's a lot of prog rock epics and prog metal epics that have been made in the last 15 years. Maybe if I made it top 50, I'm sure this would be on it. It's definitely an excellent, excellent track, but there's so many amazing prog epics that I just couldn't fit this one on my list, even though I do love it. If you like bands like Genesis, but with a bit of a more modern sound, definitely check out Big Big Train and East Coast Racer. Here's another great one, Transatlantic with Into the Blue. Now, I'd probably give this one an honorable mention. This didn't make my top top 15 when I was putting my list together, but I do love it. I love everything that Transatlantic has ever done. Definitely, uh, I'd put it, if I was putting these in tiers, I'd put this in my near masterpiece tier. So very, very amazing, beautiful, epic. My top 15 are all like true masterpieces, so this just fell short of making mine. But yeah, this is a great band. Neil Morse is in it, Roy Stalt. So Neil Morse, he was the first on this list. Roy Stalt's the leader of the Flower Kings, who was also on this list. Mike Portnoy uh, is the Dream Theater drummer, and I'm guessing that there might be a Dream Theater epic on this list too. And Pete Trewavas is from Marillion. And maybe there's even a Marillion track on this list later. So let's see. It's a great super group. And Pain of Salvation's Daniel Gildenlow features in the song's middle section. And that's another amazing group. I think they have a prog epic in this time range that could maybe be on this list or should maybe it just fell short of my list. It's in my honorable mentions too. Pain of Salvation's In the Passing Light of Day, or yeah, The Passing Light of Day from the album In the Passing Light of Day from 2017 is a 15 and a half minute track. Almost made my top 15 prog epics of the last 15 years. Then they have Spock's Beard with Falling for Forever. Yeah, I love Spock's Beard. This one's excellent. It didn't quite make my top 15. Maybe if I made a top 50 again, this would be in there. And then they have Car Mechanic with God and the Universe. So yeah, Neil Morse was in Spock's Beard, but I don't think, is he on this track? But it incorporates all seven past and present members, including Neil and Nick and Ted on vocals. Yeah, that's really cool. I'll have to listen to this again. Car Mechanic with God and the Universe is on their list. And I think I've only heard the newest Car Mechanic album that just came out this year in 2025. I don't think I've heard any of their other albums. I really love the new one, so I maybe got to go check this one out. This seems like it'd be cool. Again, more prog rock rather than metal, but pretty cool. Oh, here they've got a metal pick, and this one, spoiler alert, it's going to be on my list as well. I love Caligula's Horse, and Graves is an amazing prog epic from their fourth album, In Contact, from 2017. So yeah, I totally agree with that one. That's in my top 15 as well. Let's go to the next page here. Then they've got Devin Townsend Singularity, another prog metal pick, and I love this one. This is in my top 15 as well. So we're aligned here on this one. Empath is probably my favorite Devin Townsend album, and it's just amazing. I love how it showcases his variety. So some of his albums will have like all the songs in a similar style. Like he has some kind of soft ambient albums, and he has some albums that are like harder metal. And he has some that are kind of like this country rock, and some that are, all sorts of different things. But this one gives you a nice mix of everything that he does. It's got some musical theater vibes and metal and pop vibes and everything all in one. And this epic kind of represents this album better than any song can because it kind of showcases his versatility and his amazing vocals. He's probably my favorite vocalist at the moment. Next, they have Life Signs with Altitude. I've never heard this, I don't think. So I'm gonna have to check this out too. I'm not sure. Can't comment on whether it's worthy. Then they have Marillion with Care from An Hour Before It's Dark. And yeah, this is a good one. Uh, Not in my top 15 of the last 15 years, but again, maybe something if I was making a top 50, I'd put it in. There we go. They have Moon Safari with Teen Angel Meets the Apocalypse, an amazing prog rock epic. Just fell short of my top 15. I really love it. I think this one's a near masterpiece. If you like, yeah, influences from the Beatles, the Beach Boys, the Styx, and Yes, I agree. They've got amazing kind of Beach Boys and Yes type vocal harmonies. Some of the playing on this particular track even goes towards metal a little bit with some like Dream Theater sounding moments. It's not really a metal band or a metal song, but they have some of that harder edge to them from time to time. Really great. 2024's Frost, Life in the Wires is on it. I love this one. Didn't make my top 15, but again, would be in my top 50. So I think they put a pretty good list together here. There's some that I haven't heard, but everyone that I have heard is really solid. Dream Theater, The Shadow Man Incident is what they have next, and that one just fell short of my top 15. I think I have that as my number 16 prog epic of the last 15 years. Although I think I just realized in my list I included 2010. So I did 2010 to 2025, and I think this is only doing 2011 to 2025. So I counted like an extra year's worth of stuff, and I have an epic from 2010 on my list. Um, Last, they have Steven Wilson, Objects Outlive Us. Very good track from the new Steven Wilson album. Didn't make my list. Maybe would be in my top 50, but not my top 15 of the last 15 years. I honestly think this might be slightly overrated just because of Steven Wilson's name recognition, to be honest. I think it's really good, but I don't think it's his best work. I love Raven That Refused to Sing and Hand Cannot Erase. Those are my two favorite albums by him, and I like even his earlier stuff better than the stuff that he did after those two. Um, but this is still pretty cool. Great listen. And he's kind of returned to Prague after a little dipping his toes in more poppy, accessible, kind of electronic influenced stuff. So he kind of goes back to Prague, but he still has a little bit of that poppy, electronic, ambient thing going on in here. Very good track, definitely worth hearing. I don't know if it's worthy of a top 15 of the last 15 years, given all the amazing epics that have come out. I think it's probably just on here because it's Steven Wilson and he's extremely popular. So makes sense for it to be on here. Now let's dive into my list. So I made a Spotify playlist and hopefully I'll remember to share the playlist link in the description if you want to listen to my favorite. I actually put together 31 from 2010 to 2025. So my top 31 prog epics. I'm only going to read out my top 15, talk about my top 15 in more detail, but I'll like quickly rifle through my honorable mentions. Almo's Reconciliation, Ryo Okamoto, Myth of the Mostophis, Moon Safari's Teen Angel Meets the Apocalypse, which was on the Prague Reports list. Shepherds of Cassini with Abyss, Dominion by Stormhaven, Summer Queen by Jonas Lindberg and the Other Side, White Morning in a World She Knows by Desiderium. Well, I got lots of honorable mentions here. The Dripping Tap by King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. And here's some French titles from FMEB. J'ai demandé Aladdin, j'ai eu Captain Caverne. True version is a really great one. And Les Trois Moustiquaires. True version. Uh, Very good, weird stuff. Trawling the Depths by Oregon, amazing. Trench of Nalu by Azure, also amazing. And here I mentioned this, The Passing Light of Day by Pain of Salvation as another amazing prog epic. And then I've got my first Dream Theater appearance on this list is A View from the Top of the World by Dream Theater, number 18. Then I have Anathema by Changeling, an amazing one from this year, from 2025. Then we get to my number 16 that just fell short of making my top 15, which is from this year, Dream Theater's The Shadow Man Incident. So now let's get into my top 15 prog epics of 2010 to 2025, only counting songs that are 15 minutes plus. Sometimes when I make prog epic lists, I like to do like 13 minutes plus or something because there's songs that are like 14 minutes or 13 and a half that kind of feel to me like they're prog epics because they have a similar structure. Like they don't do verse chorus and they do these more sweet style through composition stuff that prog epics tend to do. But for this list, I wanted to follow the Prog Reports rules. I did 15 minutes plus. So at number 15, I've got a masterpiece by Jacob Roberge, The Passing, an amazing prog epic that's 32 minutes long from his album of the same name from this year. Definitely check it out. This one's more on the prog rock side, not metal, but it's amazing. And there's some like chunky, crunchy guitar moments that border on metal still here. Then there's I Have Little to No Memory of These Memories by Toehider at number 14, which is from the year 2022, and it was my album of the year. This is basically a single track album that is almost 48 minutes long in one track. Amazing stuff from Michael Mills, an amazing vocalist, great. He does all the parts on here too. Like he's an amazing, talented musician who plays drums, plays guitar, does all the vocals. Just amazing talent and amazing, fun songs. Really, really well composed music by Toehider. Then I have Haken. They're probably the kings of my list here. I think they've got four prog epics in this time period. And yeah, all four of them are in my top 15 because they're just amazing. So The Architect from Affinity, it features Einar Solberg. Affinity is from the year 2016. Just an amazing masterpiece of a song. And then I've got Others by No One with their track Dr. Breacher and the Time Travel Anomaly from Book One, Dr. Breacher, another masterpiece. Every track that I'm mentioning now in my top 15 is a masterpiece here. Great prog metal for fans of Between the Buried and Me. Definitely check it out. And like Native Construct, if you like those bands, check out Others by No One. Also Flummox. If you like Flummox, check this out. Um, The Mighty Masturbator by Devin Townsend is next from Deconstruction from 2011. Amazing. So much fun. Devin Townsend is going to feature in this list twice. So this is one of two of his in this list. Then I've got Reptile by Periphery at number 10. 16 minutes 43 seconds from Periphery 5, Hail Stan. Really fun. They actually opened the album with an epic, which is a bold choice, and it's a really great prog metal track, genty, but it goes all over the place. Takes you on a journey. Then I've got Within the Realm of Possibility by No Spoon from the album Opus, 15 minutes and 23 seconds from 2023. Amazing. That was my favorite debut album, 2023. Probably my favorite debut album of the last, oh, I don't know, my favorite debut of the last 5 years, I guess. I'd have to think about that more, but an amazing debut from this band. And then I've got Tool with Tempest, where they replaced the letter T with the number seven from Fear Inoculum, 15 minutes and 43 seconds. That's from what year? 2019. Amazing track. I love Tool. At number seven, I've got another Devin Townsend Singularity. This was on the Prog Reports list. So I totally agree with that. 23 and a half minutes from 2019. It seems like 2019 is a great year for prog epics, both Tempest from Tool and Singularity from Devin Townsend and Periphery's Reptile all came out in that same year. So just amazing, three amazing masterpiece prog metal epics came out in the same year. All right, and then we've got Caligula's Horse with Graves from 2017. This was in the Prog Reports list, so I agree on that. Amazing from 2017. Masterpiece. I love Caligula's Horse. Then I've got three in a row here from Haken. Visions, Crystallized, and Celestial Elixir. So this one wasn't really eligible for the Prog Reports list because Celestial Elixir came out in 2010. I realized my list is 2010 to 2025 and theirs is 2011 to 2025. But yeah, if you want me to follow their rules, you could take Celestial Elixir on and add Dream Theater's Shadow Man Incident onto my top 15. But yeah, Visions, amazing. This was on the Prog Reports list. I'm guessing they did like a one per artist rule because I honestly feel like Haken deserves all four spots in the top 15 because Crystallized is amazing. Celestial Elixir is amazing. The Architect's amazing. Like every epic they do is just mind-blowingly good. And then my top two are from the same band as well. Between the Buried and Me, the Kings of the Prog Metal Epic. I think they've only released these two epics in this time period, 2010 to 2025. I might be wrong about that. But yeah, my favorites are Silent Flight Parliament from the Parallax 2 and Human as Hell, another one with Love from Colors 2. The best prog metal epics of the last 15 years are ruled by Between the Buried and Me and Haken. And then, of course, Caligula's Horus, Devin Townsend, Tool, No Spoon, Periphery, Others by No One, Toe Hider, and Jacob Roberge, all beating out Dream Theater, who would typically be seen as the kings of the prog metal epic. They're the most popular prog metal band, or the band that popularized the genre. Got to give respect to them for being pioneers, but I think these other bands have kind of beat them out on epics over the past 15 years. What do you think of my list? What do you think of the Prog Reports list? Whose list do you think is better, mine or the Prog Reports? I'm actually curious. Let's start a fight in the comments. I'm just kidding, be civil. But I'd also like to hear your list. What are some of your favorite prog rock and prog metal epics, 15 minutes or longer from the last 15 years? Did I miss anything? Did the Prog Report miss anything that you think is great? I'm always looking for more new metal, rock, and prog music to check out. Thank you all for watching. If you like metal, rock, and prog music, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and stay tuned for my future videos. And peace out.